Time to start?
I think I'll eat a hamburger.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. The date is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. This is a regular time and place for a meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. We continue to deal with the health emergency, so these meetings are being part of the WebEx teleconferencing format also. And so whether you're joining us on the web or by teleconference, we thank you for joining us virtually. If you'd like to address the board under unscheduled, please use the raise your hand feature on WebEx, or hopefully you've made contact with the clerk for the public comment portion. Members in the audience who filled out speakers cards, we thank you for doing that, and the clerk will call you up in the order that she received those speaker cards. And thank you very much for if you want to participate in that part of the agenda. Each vote today will be verbal or a voice vote so that members of the public can hear how each board member has voted. After we've introduced the item and discussed it, there'll be a motion and a second regarding the item, and then there'll be a roll call vote by district. With that, thank you very much, everyone. If the clerk will now please call the roll to establish a quorum.
Joe Nevs,
Here.
Richard Valley,
Here.
Doug Verboon,
Here.
Craig Peterson,
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Here. Let the record show all 5 members present. We have established quorum. We will be able to conduct business. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Now, if I can ask you all to please rise as we invite Pastor Sylvia Gaston from Koinonia Church to deliver the invocation.
Good morning,
and then remain
Mr.
standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I have a blessing that I think I'm supposed to pray over you and everyone here today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn and face the room. If you would all bow your heads. In the days of Moses, the priest prayed this over the people. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. So God, right now, we just ask that you bless us, that you bless our decision making, that you bless our wisdom, God, that you bless our families, our health, our community. God, we need your blessings. And Father, keep us in the palm of your hand. Keep us safe. Keep us on your path and in line with your Holy Spirit, Father. Keep us close. And Father, turn your face toward us. And when you do, Lord, we pray that you find us on our knees on behalf of our families and our community. We pray that you find us doing good things, Lord. We pray that you find us turning people towards you, Father. We pray that when you look and turn your face toward us, it brings a smile to your face. And Lord, give us peace. Father, give us your peace that comes with being in obedience to you. Give us peace in our crises. Give us peace in our difficult times. Give us peace in our happy times. Give us peace in our homes, Lord, and in our offices. Let us carry peace with us wherever we go. And the prayer ends with, may his favor be upon you to 1,000 generations and your family and your children and their children. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. And now join me as we honor America by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sylvia. Next item on the agenda is unscheduled appearances. Any person may directly address the board at this time on any item on the agenda or any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of this board. Speakers will be limited to 2 minutes. Does the clerk have a record of anyone that would like to address the board at this time?
I have no written correspondence. The first speaker is Lupe Villa.
Morning, sir. Thank you for being here.
And members of the board, hope you guys are having a good morning. Lupe Villa with the Elections Office. I'm here to report out, consistent with the Kings County Elections Department philosophy of transparency and integrity. I'm disclosing an error that was found yesterday afternoon on 5 precincts, 3 which may have an impact on the current election. We initiated immediate review of the process. We're working on that review to find the solution and the impact that we have. So I should be back next week with the complete review of the findings and the resolution. So just want to share that with you guys in case you guys get word of it, made aware. So
Very good. Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck.
Are all my ballots good or just the one?
Well, it depends how many you submitted. So the first one will count.
All right.
Second one we'll keep. I think we got a handle on this. It's fairly minimal, but I just want to share with the public and the board to make sure there's transparency in the process and ensure the public that everything's going to be fine.
Good job, sir. Good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Rosemary Ron. She's getting her steps.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Good
Rosemary Rand, Department of Public Health. I just wanted to let you know that yesterday, if you heard the press briefing from the governor, there is the intention to rescind the state of emergency on COVID-19 effective the last day of February 2023. So what that means is if everything goes as planned without any surges, the plan will be that the emergency will sunset on that date, meaning all the different rules that were put in place at that time will go away. Like they had offered, certain people could do vaccinations that were not normally able to vaccinate. Labs could do testing that weren't certified. So once that goes through, it'll go back, but there's a lot of pieces that go with it. So they're allowing enough time to sort of figure out legislation that goes through that. The federal government is slated to rescind theirs January 11th of 2023. They thought it would allow enough time for if there is a COVID surge during the winter to plan for that. So I just wanted to alert the board of that, that's in the process. Now, I did get clarification that the Brown Act for teleconferencing has been moved outside of that emergency legislation and it's separate. So I'll keep you posted as I learn more about that as well.
Do you see any problems between the federal and the state in that 28-day
gap?
period? Yeah,
Probably.
exactly. You know, it's unfortunate that they can't synchronize those because I think that 28-day period might be a little difficult.
There was a discussion at the meeting just where we got the prep to the information that possibly the feds would extend to match
Oh, okay.
most of the states. So that might be interesting to see what the other states are planning as well. So
Exactly.
thank you.
Good. Thank you for the update.
That's all the speaker cards that I have, and it doesn't appear that anyone online has their hand raised.
Very good. Last call for folks in chambers. See no one come forward. We'll close out the unscheduled appearances and move to the next item, which is a report out on the closed session that was held on October 11th. Diane, do you have a report?
The county took no reportable action in closed session on October 11th.
Very good. Thank you very much. Next item is an action item regarding the minutes from that meeting of October 11th. As the board members had an opportunity to review the minutes.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Fagundes, seconded by Verboen. Additional questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show the minutes stand approved unanimous by members present. The next item is also an action item regarding the consent calendar. All items under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be acted by one motion at the request of any board member. Any item can be removed and made part of the regular agenda. Have board members had an opportunity to review the consent calendar for this morning?
Move for approval.
Moved by Fagundes,
I'll second for Ben.
seconded by Verboen. Any other questions, comments, clarifications? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved by unanimous by members present. Thank you very much. We'll now move to regular agenda items, and the first item comes from behavioral health, and that is to discuss a multi-county, semi-statewide electronic health records management, and Dr. Lewis.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Lisa Lewis, Kings County Behavioral Health. This morning I have with me Christy Lepke, our Quality Assurance Manager. I've asked Christy to present on this topic as she's been our lead on our EHR conversion and also much of our CalAIM process. So this is Christy Lepke.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Apologize, I'll be reading. This is my first time presenting at the Board of Supervisors, so I'm a little nervous.
And she was the first one in the room today too.
I noticed that. So she heard all of the discussions, so yeah.
Got here early you practiced at the podium?
So, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Christy Lepke. I'm the Quality Assurance Manager at Kings County Behavioral Health. I am before your board this morning to request approval of two items. to consider approving the multi-county semi-statewide electronic health record Mental Health Services Act Innovation Project Plan and adopt the budget change. On August 2nd, 2022, your board approved the Kings County Behavioral Health Department's 2022 to 2029 participation agreement with CalMesa for the semi-statewide electronic health record project. That agreement is to transition the department's existing electronic health record system, Anasazi, which in coming years will no longer be supported by its technology vendor, Cerner, to a new electronic health record system called SmartCare, which is supported by the technology vendor, Streamline, and overseen by CalMesa on behalf of the 22 contracting participating counties. Kings County's electronic health record conversion date under that agreement is July 1st, 2023. This project is being brought back to your board's attention for the additional purpose of capturing it as a Mental Health Services Act innovation project. The reason why it's being proposed for capture as an innovation project are as follows. As you know, Proposition 63, also known as the Mental Health Services Act, allocates funding to county behavioral health departments specifically for the use in conducting innovative projects that can inform current and future mental health practices. The current requirement of California behavioral health departments to overhaul their existing electronic health records or transition to a new electronic health record to meet the new standards of CalAIM and the need for all Anasazi counties to convert to a new electronic health record provides for a unique situation for counties to create an electronic health record in a semi-statewide scale, allowing counties to achieve alignment, full resources, and bring forward scaled solutions to current problems. The goal of this innovation project is to optimize an electronic health record platform used by providers to meet their daily workflow needs in a manner that will enhance their working conditions, increase efficiencies, and reduce burnout, thus increasing time available for direct services, provider retention, and improving overall client care. Therefore, it is proposed this project be captured as a Mental Health Services Act innovation project for which counties will use Mental Health Services Act Innovation and Capital Facilities and Technology Needs Funds to develop and implement the new electronic health record, capture baseline quantitative and qualitative data, and evaluate the electronic health record project over the course of the innovation term to track and monitor outcomes. The timeline for this project is the design phase, which is 2022 to 2023, the conversion phase, which is 2023 to 2024, monitoring and evaluation phase, which is 2024 to 2027, and the capital facilities and technology sustainability phase, which is 2027 to 2029. The allocation for this 2022 to 2029 innovation plan in total is $4,732,683, for which the first 5 years, which is 22 or 22, 23 to 26, 27, will be covered under the Mental Health Services Act Innovation Funds. And the last 2 years, which is 27, 28 to 28, 29, will be covered by the Mental Health Services Act Capital Facilities and Technology Funds. There is no impact to the general fund. The budget appropriation and transfer form will adjust the department's 2022 to 2023 budget in Budget Unit 422200 Mental Health Services Act. Therefore, the request before your board is to consider approving the multi-county semi-statewide electronic health record Mental Health Services Act Innovation Project Plan and adopt the budget change.
Good, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Are there any hard questions for?
Unfortunately,
Peterson.
she's stuck with me. Yeah. No, it's a 7-year program. Looks like there's a lot of requirements for personnel within this. And then I kind of go down to, the budget side of things. You've got, looks like 2 positions for business application specialists. Over the 7 years, 620,000, 144,000 annually. I'm just curious, are these going to be new hires, or are these going to be county employees, or who's doing this?
Yes, so the business application specialists are county employees. We've had 1 business allocation specialist position to date who has been overseeing Anasazi. For the county, we'll be adding another business application specialist, which is actually out for recruitment or is in the hiring phase right now. And that is so that we can have one business application specialist that's specifically assigned to the mental health plan, which is the mental health services we're contracted to do by Department of Healthcare Services. And the other one will specialize in the substance use disorder services that we're contracted to do by Department of Healthcare Services.
Then it's always, my kind of thread that I follow with this is, excuse me, we're building a system and, we're building a system again to check the boxes, right? This is a system to try and track what's happening with respect to mental health, right? In this, I'm just trying to figure out where is it that people get help out of this, this budget. $4.7 million. You look on the streets of Kings County, you look on the streets all over California, we're building systems, but the actual application of help, I don't know, it's pretty limited. And I'm just curious how another program gets us to where we need to be.
Yeah, so this is why it would be an innovation program, because electronic health records were to check the boxes. So they really were just taking our paper charts that we historically had and moving them to an electronic format, but they'd still remained charts nonetheless. And so this is an ability for counties in a scaled way, scaled way, to be able to make an electronic health record that we can actually garner the information in a better way, to be able to better then identify client care that can be done more efficiently and effectively, to also be able to have data-driven decisions in our when we're doing business process designs. It also has a robust patient portal that'll be rolled out to clients so that they have better access to their records. And so those are some of the ways that it will no longer be a check the box. It'll actually be a using system to not only improve client care, improve decision makings by data-driven decision making, and also give access to clients to their electronic health records.
And from a clinical perspective, so when I enter information into the electronic health record from a psychiatric appointment this afternoon, if that person were seen in the ER later today, the person seeing them would be able to read that note, would know what was happening with that person's medication, what was happening with their therapist recently. So we share that information within our system, which is real-time, immediate, and it directly affects patient care. And then also the fact that we're going to have multiple counties using the same system means that our clinicians and all of our teams are going to be trained the same way. So we bring somebody in, we can train, they're going to be ready to go much more quickly. And so it's going to actually help us communicate better. And that's always communicate about our patients.
Yeah, I guess it's just difference of opinion. I mean, I just see, development of all these programs and, there's nothing like access to a good psychologist that, is, I don't know how many you could pay for with $4.7 million, but.
Two. Maybe.
Or one program here.
Yeah.
All right. That was my questions.
Thank you. Supervisor Verboen.
So how does HIPAA work with this on the records? It stays only in the medical field or does it share with others?
Yeah. Yeah, so it has been vetted through all of the HIPAA standards, and so it is does have security processes and policies that keep it HIPAA compliant. We also, though, are embarking on, because of Colleen, the ability to actually do a health information exchange as well as a data exchange with the managed care plans. And so our hope is that in future years, we'll actually be able to go above and beyond this, like Dr. Lewis was saying, in being able to merge this system with access to our local hospitals and health centers, as well as with our managed care plans, the Medi-Cal plans that are over the beneficiaries. And so it is HIPAA compliant.
So is it tied in any other services such, I know I was at the White House here a couple of years ago and President Trump talked about tying into veteran services. A lot of the veterans were in the mental health system and they were using the system to help gain different medications from different doctors, which was hurting them more. Is it tied in any other systems at the same time?
At this point, it is not tied in any other system. I believe the only connection right now that I'm aware of is that it will have an e-lab component that allows for it to kind of electronically talk to laboratories that are in our area.
That way they don't abuse the system by getting drugs from one doctor versus another doctor.
We do have, there is the Cures Act wherein any prescriber and pharmacies all have to go in and enter certain medications into this database that's
So
national.
it's available to everybody at that time.
Yeah.
I have no further questions, and I'll approve it based on that.
I have just one more question
Follow up?
from administration standpoint. So where does a person fall and step and in this level that's making 144,000 a year?
So I'm Supervisor Peterson. Which position you're specifically
The
referring
business
to?
application specialist.
144,000 would be the loaded costs. Am I correct in that? So that's not what their annual salary would be. It would be costs plus benefits and all the other things associated with county employment.
35% roll-ups.
Job.
Got it.
President Trump said veterans are abusing the system.
No, they get caught up in a system, and there was no way to track their medication base. So a veteran or somebody would go to one doctor and get his medication, and then go to another doctor, say the same thing and get more medication, over medicating himself, causing more mental health issues. They were going to try to track that to get them the help they needed with a system such as this.
On the pharmaceutical side.
Pharmaceutical side, yeah.
And it still doesn't count the non-prescribed,
Right.
self-medicated.
Right.
The item has been moved by Verboen,
Second.
seconded by Valley. Thank you very much. Additional discussion? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Craig Peterson,
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Christie did a great job.
Yeah. Now if you can just make the electronic part of it work. You might have to work with IT because, and they might have to fire up another bit of squirrels to get the get the generator running. All right, next item comes from the fire department regarding discussion on fire captain positions. Chief Lynch.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Bill Lynch, Kings County Fire Department. Here this morning with a particular item that's close to my heart, finishing up some work that your board and myself started back in 2015. Here this morning to talk about captain's positions and allocations. Currently, the fire department still has 2 fire stations that do not have a captain on every shift. So what we're doing here today is asking you to approve the allocation of 2 additional fire captains in our budget and then 2 deletions of 2 FAEs, fire apparatus engineers. We do have enough fire apparatus engineers positions within our agency currently. This is just the status, a classification change. There'll be no hiring of new people. It's just a promotion for 2 lucky members of our agency. Again, like I said, we started this in 2016 when your board approved the 2-0 staffing for every station. It was always intended to have captains in every station on every shift, and I'm happy to be here to start finishing this work up. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Thanks, Chief. Supervisor Valley.
Things shouldn't, so no demotions?
No demotions today.
Those were just, they were vacated positions that were held.
Actually, Supervisor Valley, where we had allocated positions as FAEs that we were going to change to captain, and it just never got done.
All right. Thank you.
So,
Unless there's a battalion chief he wants to bust down. That'd be the only demotion.
sure there's days when they want to go back.
I know.
For approval.
Second.
Moved by Fagundes, seconded by Verboen. Additional discussion? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved. 5 in favor. Good luck. Good luck recruiting. Now the tough part comes. Now you got to pick 2.
I failed to mention, we do have a current captain's list, so it's going to be. pretty
And it's
quick.
still, and it's current enough to be able to,
Still good.
good. Good luck. Thanks. Next item comes from Information Technology. John, good morning. Got enough bandwidth to be able to handle this?
I think I can.
Okay.
Good morning, Chairman and fellow board members. I'm John Devon, the Chief Information Officer of Kings County. What I have before you is a service agreement with Valley Security and Alarm. Little overview. Right now, we're running a Honeywell access control system, and that one's basically on its last leg. We can upgrade it one more time to accommodate our current need, and that would be it. And Valley Security proposed going to a DMP system, which is actually a much newer system and it can expand much further than the old system could. And we have all these new buildings coming online. They're all going to have security needs. This will allow it all to be tied into one system instead of having separate systems everywhere. So that it makes it easier to administer. So the project was included in the 2022-2023 budget, which was adopted by the board on August 9th in the amount of $308,275 in budget unit 1950-0092-047. Valley Security and Alarm installed the DMP access control system for the sheriff's operations building. And with the issues that we were having with the Honeywell access control system, we opted to replace it with the DMP solution. If we were to stay with the Honeywell solution and upgrade all the county access locations, it would have cost about $30,000 more, and we'd still be stuck with that old platform that wasn't expandable. The DMP solution gives the county a more robust administration software as well as the ability to upgrade for the future. County Council has reviewed and approved the agreement as to form, and I'm here for any questions.
Good. Thank you, John.
Does it include a Ring doorbell for the sheriff's iPhone?
I don't know. I know it has camera options. I don't know Ring specifically.
Good work.
Go to Lowe's and pick one of those up, yeah. Any other questions?
No questions, Chair. Motion to approve is presented. Thank you.
Okay, then moved by Valley,
Second.
seconded by Verboen. Thank you very much. Further discussion? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Craig Peterson,
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved. John, when do you think installation and get it online?
Well, I also failed to point out that this contract starts today if approved. Got to make you happy once in a while.
I thought it was yesterday.
No, actually, I had an earlier date, but it took a while to get through.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, there's no reason we can't start this today, right?
Yeah.
No, and I said, good.
So how long do you think installation and? Oh, yeah, because this is a big project. Yeah, and, some of it you probably do during the closure, but there's a lot of, there's just a lot of moving parts and it's going to take a while. So.
It may take a while to get the pieces and parts in too.
Exactly, yeah. And
Problem with the old system.
the supply chain,
Trying to use.
right, the whole supply chain management part. So, well, good luck with that. Yep. All right, that concludes all of the business on today's agenda. We'll now move to board member announcements or reports on their own initiatives. Board members can make announcements on their own activities. Supervisor Peterson.
Yeah, just the annual Agriculturist of the Year event took place on Saturday night out at West Hills College Gym. And Tony Azevedo was the Agriculturist of the Year, and Gar Bennett was the Ag Supporter of the Year. Great attendance, and two really deserving organizations. And I don't know, the further operation of that award system, I think, needs to be reviewed, but hopefully we'll find an appropriate host. I think it needs some updating. That's all I have.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Supervisor.
same thing, attended the Greater Kings County Chamber award ceremony along with Supervisor Debs and Supervisor Peterson for the Agriculture of the Year and Ag Support of the Year. And then I attended several water meetings over the weekend concerning the Greater Kauai GSA and a lot of the growers, 94,000 acres of farmers that feel they have no representation. So I attended that as well. And that's it. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks. Supervisor Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank Bobby over at Commission on Aging. She's doing a really good job. She got that Corcoran Senior Center open again. this past Friday, and it was very nice to see all those seniors in one room eating a hot meal. She brought down Jeremy Pierce again, Elvis, and those seniors really enjoyed the performance, gave a 45-minute performance. And it was nice to see those folks dancing in their chairs. Some of them stood up and they were excited when they got a scarf. And he gave them a lot of the 1950s hits for them. And and then on that note, they'll do the same thing this Friday in Avenel at the Veterans Hall. And the Elvis performance will start at 11 a.m. So if you have family or friends in Avenel, tell them to come on by, get a meal, and check out some good music and have a good time there. Saturday was the one of the days of the annual Avenal Pistachio Festival. I went out there with Lupe Chavez, who was out there participating again in the one of the barbecue kickoffs. So he was smoking some ribs and some tri-tips, and so that was a good time being out there in Avenal. And with that, that's the week, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Very good, thanks. Supervisor Fagundes.
We had yesterday, Supervisor Peterson and myself had KT AAA yesterday, and pretty good discussions. You'd find out these seniors are looking for more food and more luncheons, activities. Problem is the feeding, the cost going up and everything, so something has to be done to help them, so with that, thank you.
Yeah, if I could add on to
Yeah.
this, Chairman, I in our meeting yesterday, it was, you know, the meal service portion of that, I think is supposed to come to an end soon, what's being paid for. And I know Tulare County, they're questioning whether they're going to even reopen their senior centers. They I don't know, the model has kind of changed a little bit. You know, folks just want to go pick up their meals and go home. And I don't know, you know, if they're fearful of their health or whatever, but I know Kings County is a little different. Bobby's done a great job in doing that, but clearly you know, they're struggling to come up with the funding to pay for the meals. EOC, I guess, has been providing the meals, and some folks aren't happy with those, but you know, you look at the cost of food and the inflation, and there's not been, you know, an appreciable increase in the cost of or money provided for, you know, food to seniors. So it's going to be a challenge.
You're talking about the transition of the frozen meals, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people got used to the frozen, and now, yeah, I could see that some people might complain that, hey, where's my frozen meal now? But the senior center's open. But I don't know. I like the idea of them doing what we're doing, man. We're all going to concerts, going to Vegas, going wherever we want. You know, why should the seniors have to stay home? And at least what I saw with my eyes on Friday was life, excitement, smiles, you know.
Yeah.
And even before Elvis got there, they were playing bingo and laughing every time they won a prize. The flip side to it too is I know there's some good ideas going at one point, right, Sheriff? You're working with Bobby, maybe cooking the meals in-house in the jail facility. I don't know where that's at, or if that's more economically a better idea.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. And I know there was also discussion on the, I forget the Assembly bill or Senate bill number on the, I'm drawing a blank on the waste, you know, there might be some funds.
Organic
waste.
waste.
Yeah. And I'll get an update for you, though. I connected Bobby with Captain Thomas in my facility to try to see if they could work something out. And so I haven't had an update recently, so I'll get an update for you.
Thanks, Sheriff.
But I think Bobby also said that, you know, you know, and I think that's part of the attendance thing is that the seniors far prefer a hot meal as opposed to the frozen meal, and so a little interaction as well.
Yeah. Plus they stack up. You know, some people got the frozen meals. They get banked away in the freezer, you know, and so I guess on the hot meal, I don't know if it saves money if people decide not to come that day, then And, you know, I'm sure it'll take a while for them to start figuring out how much should we actually cook. But now I get what you're saying. There's pros and cons to it. Were the frozen meals there before the pandemic? I don't know that. But then I was glad that the frozen meals came to fruition once, you know, they were stuck at home. But it's like everything else that we were talking about at the beginning of the meeting, the transition, once the emergency order goes away, you know, untying everything that got put together so quickly and everyone trying to adapt during the pandemic. I mean, that wasn't easy either. So I could see the problems and this whole thing trying to unravel back.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, when it first started, the discussions were centered around socialization and making sure that they had the opportunity to socialize. And I don't know if we did it here, but Tulare County had, they could check out iPads and then they could connect, you know, in their groups through the iPad or, you know, at least have some sort of opportunity to find socialization somewhere. But
Yeah, a lot of problems with that is just the connectivity. A lot of places just don't have the bandwidth or the connective ability to connect those electronic devices, and sometimes they're a little bit of a challenge.
yeah,
So,
technology.
The device to old people.
both. Yeah. So yeah, both of them can be a challenge. But yeah, you just have a lot of fun at a bingo game when you use the B column and the O column. Because when you win, you got to stand up and say you got BO. Yeah, kind of slow this morning, huh? We'll work on that. For me, Cal Vans had a meeting on Thursday. 689 vans are still operating in the fleet, with 95 in the general van pool division and 594 in the ag industries. The Valley is beginning to slow down in its seasonal switch, and Ventura County is gearing up for their fall strawberries. And then with the hurricane that hit Florida, a lot of the citrus will be coming online a little bit earlier, and then plus they're going to try to capture a lot of that citrus market. DMV has a different interpretation. I think last month I told you about the P endorsement that the state of California has requested on a Class C license. CHP was not giving a moving violation, but more of a fix-it ticket to try to get compliance. Again, these drivers are more volunteer drivers and not really drivers for hire. And so they're thinking that that might be the difference, but we continue to work and try to resolve. This is not the first issue that we've had between DMV and CHP, but we'll continue to work through those issues. My counsel to them is the state of California will enforce that at some point. So you just as well use this period to use it as a transition and encourage drivers to go ahead and get that P endorsement next time their C license are up. So West Hills College volleyball season continues, as well as high school seasons. They are kind of wrapping up between this week. And there'll be some changes. Some will be going into playoff season and some will just end. Lemoore Trinity had a drive-through sopish and thermos dinner. Did a very good turnout, turned out very well. The ag dinner has already been talked about. On Sunday, the Knights of Columbus had a pancake breakfast, serving a little over 250 people. You talk about meals, that event used to be 500 or 600. So, the events are kind of coming back. Those that helped us at the senior day in the park, that used to be an 800-person event. And now you're happy at 450 or 500 people, but people's attitudes and changes have just, brought along some changes that we're just trying to still continue to adjust to. And then yesterday, the Kings County Homeless Meeting talked about the dashboard and how we're tracking individuals, and a couple of updates. The city of Hanford has kind of embraced a homeless section, and the governor has released some money, probably $300,000 or $400,000 a year for 2 or 3 years. So hopefully we'll be able to work on a low barrier operation for that. And so that work continues. With that, that kind of closes out what I did. And Sheriff, while you were there, I think Monday you're going to talk at the Kings County Historical about the sheriffs of Kings County. We certainly want to thank you for doing that. And then you want to give a little preview, or you got it? No? Oh, yeah. Well, I think that would be a real good presentation, talking about the history of the sheriffs of Kings County. And so look forward to that presentation on Monday if anybody is looking for something to do on a Monday evening. So with that, Mr. Hill, you want to talk about board correspondence, upcoming events, and future agenda items?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For board correspondence, your board received correspondence from the California Department of Transportation dated October 5th regarding the notice of availability of the final environmental document for the Stratford-Lemoore Capital and Preventative Maintenance Project. Your board received an invitation from the Friends of Kings County Library 40th anniversary celebration, which will take place Wednesday, October 19th at 6 p.m. at the Kings County Library located at 401 North Dowdy Street in Hanford. Your board also received email correspondence. I'm going to struggle with names today. I'm going to apologize in advance with Sumai Hoodie, Caltrans project manager, on October 14th regarding the Kings River Bridge replacement project on Route 41 near Stratford, which will take place in September 2023. Your board also received an email from Richie Savagnon, not sure if that's correct either, introducing himself as the California Department of Insurance new liaison for the office of Senator Melissa Hurtado. For upcoming events, the Rock the Purple Luncheon will be held at the First Baptist Hanford on October 27th from noon to 1:30. Speakers will include a survivor of domestic violence. Therapists will briefly discuss self-care for both survivors and service providers. This is a free event that is hosted by the Kings County District Attorney's Victim Witness Program. The Kings County EDC and JTO annual dinner will take place Thursday, October 27th from 6 to 9 p.m. The event will have a Kentucky Derby theme and take place at the fairgrounds in Hanford. The city of Avenel will be hosting a trunk or treat, which will take place on October 28th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Betts Hall parking lot in Avenel. There will also be a Halloween dance. Kings County Animal Services will be hosting a Halloween Spooktacular on October 29th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 10909 Bonneview Lane in Hanford. This is a free family event with food vendors, booth, and much more. The animal shelter will be providing free microchips, and personalized pet tags will also be available at $5 each. Dogs are welcome but must be on a leash. There will be a charity golf tournament for the Ukraine Family Relief Fund on November 5th at 9 a.m. at the Valley Oaks Golf Course in Visalia. The entry fee is $200 per person. The format is a four-man scramble. The Kings County Board of Realtors will host an annual golf tournament on November 7th at the Kings County Country Club in Hanford, with proceeds benefiting the Kings County Sheriff's K-9 unit. There will be a shotgun start at 10 a.m. The format is also a four-man scramble, and the registration is $1,000. There'll be food, drinks, and raffle prizes. The 5th annual Santa Rosa Rancheria Charity Golf Tournament in support of SRR Youth Services will take place Monday, November 14th at the Lemoore Golf Course. Shotgun start as well at 10 a.m. Four-man scramble as well. Team registration is $2,000 per team. A lot of golf coming up. Upcoming agenda items. Administration has 3 items: presentation on Operation Greenlight for veterans, consideration regarding Cemetery District ARPA program, and consideration for an agreement with Co-File Technologies Incorporated for archival book project. Ag has consideration for the Industrial HIP Cooperative Agreement. The Assessor Clerk Recorder has consideration for approval of an MOU with DOJ for electronic recording and delivery system. Community Development Agency has consideration regarding county-initiated notice of non-renewals of the Williamson Act contracts and Farmland Security Zone contract. Health has 3 items: consideration for a Disease Intervention Specialist Workforce Development Grant, consideration for a resolution recognizing October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Kings County, and a communicable disease update on COVID-19, monkeypox, and West Nile virus. Human Resources will be presenting the County Service Awards. Human Services Agency has 2 items: consideration to authorize signee for the Memorandum of Understanding renewal between CDSS and HSA, and public hearing on PLHA plan and resolution approving HSA's application for the PLHA application. And IT has consideration for a broadband grant. That concludes our report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Hill. Questions or comments for Mr. Hill? Also on October 22nd, Beans Linguiça, this is a drive-through event in Stratford as well, to support the hall. And then Lupe, when do, let's see, when's the last day to register to vote and when do the voting centers open? Very good. Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? The board will now move into closed session to take up a workers' comp, in fact, 3 cases regarding workers' comp, and then a personnel matter regarding the job training office director. And with that, we will adjourn out of closed session until our next regular scheduled meeting, which will be on Tuesday, October 25th. With that, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.